it's pretty cool to be back here. New York has grown on me the more that I get to know it, and it's amazing city.
Yeah, and I mean this one in particular, you got the two teammates on the card. It's the the show for all you guys. So what's it been like throughout this camp and just the vibes coming into this week?
The vibes. The vibes are good, man. Really prepared, and I don't know. We're just like on point with everything.
And you've been in this scenario before, the rematch and everything like that right away after a quick win. How much were you able to take away from the situation with the Joanna fights and apply them to this?
With my other rematches, how I apply to this?
Yeah.
With all my rematches, I always I try to take into consideration a little bit as far as like how can the other person be different, what I learned from the first fight, but ultimately that's just a portion of it. The majority of what I go into a rematch with is just it's a brand new fight, and I just have to be the best version of myself no matter what, because anything is possible, anything can happen, so I have to be ready for everything.
And you put her away quickly last time, and she kind of can justify it as I got caught perhaps, but you see these radical changes she makes. She shifts her training camp, has all these new people around her. So does that show you that maybe it's not a sign of just I got lost? She obviously felt that some dramatic adjustments were needed.
What was the last part you said? It was a sign of what?
That maybe she knew what she had going into that first fight wasn't enough, because if she just felt it was a situation I just got caught, maybe
then
she
just do the same thing,
changes.
right? Yeah. I see what you're saying. I would think that no matter what actually happened with her, that she has to do something different, or you know what I mean? Like, you didn't get the outcome you wanted, you kind of have to change it up, I guess. But I'm just concerned with being the best version of myself. So, regardless of what she's doing, I don't got to put any meaning to that. I just got to put meaning to my own life.
And to you, to go in and win a fight like you did last time so quickly, so cleanly, what do you take away from that in terms of adjustments you need to make?
So, adjustments, I guess I'm always adjusting, little things. But overall, I'm just adding more, adding more skills to my arsenal, and just getting better at the ones that I do better.
And obviously, you had the title reign before. You made the history of being the first two-time female champion. What's your goals for this reign? I'm sure you just want to focus on the fight, take it one at a time, but do you allow yourself to think long-term?
I guess it's fun to like entertain those thoughts and possibly, but one day at a time. Just because like not only I have a huge fight in front of me, but I mean, COVID and all this stuff. Like the world is crazy. Who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow? So I really just take one day at a time.
And last thing for me, I asked a similar question to Kamaru about Colby, but do you look forward to this chapter in your career being over to get 2-0? Usually there's not a third fight, and you can have her behind you and move on to different things. Is that something you're excited for?
No, I'm excited for Saturday night. I really appreciate Weili as a champ, or as a I guess as a former champion, as a formidable opponent. She brings a lot to the table that keeps me on my toes, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And actually, one more. What does Saturday look like for you guys? Like, obviously, Trevor's going to be out there with Justin before you. Does he just hang out back there? I mean, does it change how you warm up, how you prepare, doing these back-to-back-to-back? What does that look like?
I think that, back in Florida, we had Kamaru actually Kamaru and I fought on two cards together. So it's just kind of on the next level of that. I rely a lot on Pat, and he'll be holding pads for me, and then Chico, I'll be moving around with him, and then be moving around with Trevor when I can, and we'll figure it out.
Rose, right here. Your last fight against Weili wasn't that long ago. She's essentially just uprooted her whole life, moved to Arizona to rework her game. How much of an improvement can you make facing the same opponent in such a short amount of time?
I believe you can make a lot of improvements when you are focused on strengthening all of the weaknesses that you have when you're just focused on the present moment and, just realizing what's at stake. And it's my happiness, health, and safety. So I have to put that first. And regardless of what happened in the past, I have to always be improving.
Rose, to your left over here. It might seem very obvious, and because of that, are you expecting Weili to come at you with a wrestling-heavy game plan in this one, or because of how obvious it is? Try not to think about that.
So can you say the question one more time?
Do you think is it expected from you that she'll attack with her wrestling because she's been training with Henry and everything like that?
I think that, what to expect is that her wrestling has gotten better. How will that translate in the fight? Who knows? I just have to be open for everything. So, yeah, but I've improved on my wrestling as well and my grappling, and so, yeah, I'm ready for all that.
When you studied her the first time, did you kind of find her grappling to be a little bit underrated? Because if you look at her whole career before the UFC, she grappled a lot actually and took a lot of opponents down and beat them there. Is that something you noticed ahead of time?
Oh no, I regardless of what I guess the rest of the world thinks, I've studied Weili up and down, left and right, and I've always respected her grappling. She has a lot of submission wins, and I've also observed when she gets in fights that if she's losing the striking battle, she'll kind of force the clinch or force a grappling exchange. So that is, I guess, that's not a surprise to me. Yeah.
And in the past, you've kind of spoken about the championship pressures being, a little heavy at times. How are we feeling now? Are those gone since you've been here, done that, or are they still always going to be there?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely a lot more grateful for just everything, like not just the belt, but just being here, be able to walk, breathe, be with you guys. Like it's just a lot more grateful. So yeah, I mean, it is it hard? Yes. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm just a lot more grateful.
Best of luck, Rose.
Thank you.
Hey Rose, I want to ask you about a bit of the coaching challenge because her team also now includes Eric Albarracin, and he's obviously got Weili, but he's also got a belt going in Bellator. And he was saying it's like, it's a competition, him and Trevor Whitman, because obviously Trevor's got the 2 titles this Saturday. Do you?
Who said that?
Coach Eric Albarracin with Weili, Henry's old coach.
Okay.
Do you feel a bit of that in sometimes the coaching? Do you feel like sometimes they like to outdo their tactics? Do you feel like the coaches ever get competitive on that side, on the cerebral side?
I think that can happen. But I don't know. I feel like it's comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. But like, I mean, I guess it's natural for all of us to go to war. Not just the fighter. So I think it's normal.
I also want to ask you a little bit about all the other going-ons in the strawweight division. Marina Rodriguez, great performance against Mackenzie. Just when you're in this position, how much are you still paying attention to the girls coming up? Because you're obviously focused on Weili, but there's a couple players obviously in the mix now.
Yeah, I watched that fight. I used it as like inspiration and motivation because that was a really action-packed fight. That was super exciting. It really got me pumped up to just go out there and perform myself. So, hats off to both of those ladies. It was really exciting.
And then being in New York, obviously the site of, your 2 wins over Joanna. There's a lot of talk about, what's going on with negotiations and all that. Do you see her coming back to the title picture if and when she does compete again?
I mean, yeah, Joanna and I have had our rivalry and stuff, but I'm a huge fan of hers, so I would hope, maybe one day that happens. But if not, I ultimately believe she's gonna do what's best for her in her life. So yeah, but I'm always gonna be excited to watch her fight or fight her myself.
I asked you guys this back in Jacksonville, and I'd just like to ask you ahead of time. You, Kamaru, and Justin win. Whose after party does Trevor Whitman go to?
Well, I mean, I'm always low key, so I would, and I feel like Trevor's pretty low key as well. So I guess, you know, if he probably gonna be tired. He probably might just go to his room and pass out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rose over here on your right.
Yeah.
You've previously stated that you thought that earning the belt was the ultimate goal, and once you won it the first time around, you'd felt like you made it. Now that you no longer stand by that, what is the pinnacle that you're striving for in your career?
To just live every day to the fullest, you know. If the belt comes along with that, great. And then if not, then I'm going to be gardening or farming, you know. So it's really just enjoying every moment and doing the best that I can with what I got where I'm at.
So is it fair to say that you're more process-oriented now than maybe goal-oriented like in the past?
You 100%, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, Rose.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Hey.
So before the fight announcement with you and Weili, people were guessing that you might have other choices for your opponent. Was that true that you pick among all the opponent to Weili?
I'm sorry, if it was, what was true?
Was it true like UFC offered you other opponent for your fight, but you choose among Weili?
No, that wasn't true. Actually, like originally, I thought I was gonna be facing Carla as soon as I saw her fight, and then the UFC would have rather me fight Weilis. So you know, I'm here to defend my belt, not pick my fights.
And you have a famous quote saying that I am the best. And then so who else in this division you think it's the other best? Maybe like you can fight next time.
Yeah. When I first like think about it, nobody like necessarily comes to mind, but as long as if I don't do my best, then anybody could be the best, you know. So it really could be anybody, but I truly believe in my heart that I am the best when I do my best.
All right. And last time Weili was saying that she fight more for like friendship. So this time, would you agree that you guys are fighting more like friendship atmosphere?
Oh, sorry. What was the last part?
I mean, I'm asking you like if this time you think you guys you agreeing with her, like you guys fight more for like friendship atmosphere this time?
Okay, so I think I think friendship is always possible. I'm always open to that. My approach to fighting is slightly different. I fight for different purposes. I come here to, you know, protect myself at all times and, you know, be the best that I can be. And then throughout that process is when I have made, you know, the closest friendships that I've ever had. Obviously, I met my, you know, fiance, Pat Berry, through martial arts. The closest friends, you know, Trevor, Whitman, Chico, all my corners, and teammates and family and all that stuff. Whereas I think what she was saying is, you know, she does martial arts to make friends. To me, it's just a little different. It's more self-defense in my opinion, but I'm open to the possibility to, if it's genuine and sincere and honest, I'm the easiest person to get along with.
Thank you.
Rose, over here. Over back.
Oh.
So with such a mega venue like Madison Square Garden, sold out fans, what do you do to calm the nerves? And do you still get butterflies with all eyes on you as a co-main event? What do you do to calm those nerves?
Ooh, cry a lot. I just breathe and pray and just believe and trust and have faith in my preparation, my higher power, and just do the best that I can. So, but you're going to feel them, and you're going to have to just go through it.
If there's one advantage that you could say, if any, that Weili would have over you, what would that be?
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Rose, I just had one more to your left. You mentioned, you know, expecting Carla after, you know, the last victory. Was it kind of a bummer for you to get Weili instead? Because I'm sure you want to get that Carla one back. The story's so great, going from tough 20, and now you're the champion. Is it a little bit disappointing in that aspect?
I mean, at first I was, and then I, like, you know, put on my grown-up pants, and then was like, all right, let me look at this the objective way as possible. And I realized that Weili is the most dangerous opponent I could face right now. The tools that she possesses, I really have to be on my game. So, but yes, I mean, like I would love to fight Carla, and I think that she did a lot to deserve that. But at the same time, Weili did too, and so I just had to be ready for a fight no matter what. So and then turns out I guess a lot of people think that she might be wrestling more, so maybe I'll get a similar type of a fight. Who knows? Cool. Thank you.